It's 8:30. Good morning. I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. The Hunter has missed out on new spending measures in last night's federal budget. Previously announced funding for Cessnock Road at Testers Hollow and the duplication of the Turl Street Bridge was confirmed, along with $30 million towards the Scone bypass. But there was no money for the Lake Macquarie Transport interchange. On the bright side, Hunter MP Joel Fitzgibbon says scrapping the proposed Medicare co-payment is welcome.
But even there's a bit of a smoke and mirrors trick, because Medicare rebates, for example, only start to index again over time. I welcome the fact that they've now re-indexed federal assistance grants to our local councils. That's cost our councils literally millions and millions over the last few years, so that's a good thing.
Meanwhile, Williamtown residents impacted by the RAF-based contamination will benefit from a $12.5 million commitment towards a PFAS health study and a further $14 million over 4 years for health-related initiatives. However, there's nothing on the table for compensation for residents and businesses, with the budget only noting these claims are unquantifiable. But Patterson MP Meryl Swanson says at least the issue has now been officially acknowledged.
The budget mentions that there are litigation cases and claims for compensation for loss, injury or damage arising from the use of PFAS chemicals. They've said, though, that these are unquantifiable, but in a small win, at least this very important issue to our community has finally been officially recognised in the budget papers.
The list of good debt and bad debt from last night's budget has individuals and businesses alike counting the wins and losses this morning. Small businesses come out in the middle, with the $20,000 instant write-off extended for another year, and businesses with a turnover of up to $50 million set to receive a company tax cut. CEO of the Hunter Business Chamber, Bob Hawes, says there's a lot of business talk for the Hunter, but there doesn't seem to be any special mention of new initiatives in major rail or road projects.
Encouraging to note that the government's intention to commit $75 billion over 10 years to infrastructure projects. The Chamber is anxious to discern if some of the local projects, like the F3M1 Black Hill to Raymond Terrace, whilst we do recognise there's a lot of other local projects already been in the forward estimates, such as works around Kooragang Island. Elsewhere in the budget, Hunter wage earners will have to pay an extra 0.5% increase in the Medicare levy from July 2019 to help fund the National Disability Insurance Scheme. There's a one-off payment for seniors towards energy bills, while concession cards will be returned to pensioners who lost them under asset test changes announced earlier this year. And from July this year, first home buyers will be able to make special contributions to superannuation to put towards a deposit. In other news, a man is facing a raft of charges after police found a clandestine drug lab in his Tingira Heights home. Officers arrived at the home in Regent Street yesterday morning to execute a search warrant as part of investigations into a break-and-enter at Charlestown to find the 30-year-old allegedly throwing out items used to manufacture drugs. He's been granted bail and is due to face Belmont Local Court next Wednesday. And the State Emergency Service is the first to provide assistance when disaster strikes, so today they're asking people across the Hunter to join Wear Orange Wednesday to show support for the work of volunteers. The last 12 months have been the busiest on record for the SES, with New South Wales being the hardest hit by a 45% rise in incidents, and volunteers dedicating a remarkable 390,000 hours of their time. Becky Gollings from the SES is asking people to share their orange attire on social media.
We just want them to wear something orange, but to also share that on social media. So if they snap a selfie of themselves wearing orange and share it with the hashtag #ThankYouSES, that'll help us get some really widespread support for our SES volunteers. I guess getting behind them and showing them that they are appreciated and supported, it really goes so far to boost the spirits and boost the morale.
Sport for our sponsor, PRD Nationwide East Maitland.
Newcastle Knights playmaker Trent Hodkinson is back in the selection frame after being named on the extended bench for this weekend's home game against the Canberra Raiders. Off the back of the representative round last weekend, Peter Matautia, Daniel and Jacob Safiti, Sam Stone and Nathan Ross are also in Sunday's lineup. Ross is keen for the Knights to play and be proud despite drug scandals rocking the NRL this week.
We've made a choice to be put in the public eye, and we've also made a choice to be role models towards children and humans alike.
The inaugural Women's City Country Origin squads have been announced ahead of this weekend's clash in Sydney. The countryside boasts some local talent, with Hunter players Donna Sutton, Phoebe Desmond, Jerry Bergman and Alicia Martin named in the team. And Adamstown Rosebuds' Michael Williams is likely to play against his former club Lambton in the FFA Cup next week, just 2 weeks after switching camps. And the winning numbers in Oz Lotto are 1, 15, 45, 16, 3, 20 and 33, and the supplementaries are 39 and 12. 2NURFM News Time, 25 to 9.